What's good, everybody? Welcome in to The Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not even close. As you can see, having some tech issues, because I don't like it to look like amateur hour, but we've got to put the show, and we're on the road as we are doing PGA Tour Live for the next couple of weeks, so bear with us. But as always, we're here every single day, and before we look forward, we must look back. And last night, a whole bunch of fun. Kind of a ho-hum day, though, as far as picks are concerned. The morning show, not so great, although the jeweler hit with the United States women, winning 1-0 last night. But early edge in 5, that's where we did our damage. Micah, Alex, that Juan Soto coming through, and then the over 163.5 home runs. Now, these are the 3 days it's very, very difficult to find things to bet on unless you are us. So let's bring in the stars of the show. And look who I have today. You talk about opposite ends of the spectrum. My goodness, where do I start? Well, out of all the respect in the world, the man's been down. The man's been out. But he's back today. Prop stars. Alex, good morning, sir.
Back and better than ever, Coach Buckets. It's great to see you. I am so excited. This may not be reflected on the recap, but not only did we hit the Juan Soto prop for over 470 feet, I also suggested sprinkling some on him winning the Derby and having the longest home run of the Derby. And if you tailed those, both of those cash as well at plus 400 and plus 300 respectively.
Which is exactly what I did as I was flying on my American Airlines jet. I'm reading articles on the Wi-Fi, and I go to Prop Stars, boom, right there, or wherever you posted that pic. That's when I saw it. I made that play from 37,000 feet. Now, the man yesterday finding all these games that are cashing in the 94th minute. Oh, wait, that was me. Good morning, Buckets. Now, you going to tell the world that handicapping soccer is not so difficult? I cashed mine last night. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. I need to be a little humble today and thank not only you, but also the jeweler for cashing your soccer tickets. You guys stepped up when I was down, and now it's my turn to bounce back today, and we're going to come back at it today with some Champions League action.
I feel like there's a little bit of sarcasm in that voice, but I'm going to let it slide today because today I've been very, very hard on Alex lately, telling him to shorten things up. But today, when there's not a whole lot going on, I feel like an Alex rant. An Alex rant is needed today. So you have carte blanche, Alex, just because Buckets thought he needed to get a little bit saucy. So one very quick thing that we need to do, because clearly we are the best show in all of sports betting, but I need you guys at home to confirm it. The link is in the show description right now. Go to the 2022 People's Choice Podcast Awards. Go to the sports section. Then nominate, vote, early edge. It takes less than 30 seconds, and we can take our position at the very, very top. Now, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And when I look at it, and I think NBA, I think Knicks. And when the Knicks are good, and we haven't seen it in a very, very long time, the NBA is just better. Alex, sir, great to have you back. The floor is yours.
Coach, just when there was some reason for some optimism in New York as a Knicks fan, Mark Stein reported yesterday that if the Knicks are able to acquire Donovan Mitchell, that's a big if, the Knicks could potentially explore Julius Randle trades, and they could discuss a trade for Russell Westbrook. This would be such a bizarre scenario. Are the Knicks trying their hardest to just ruin things for Jalen Brunson after signing him to be their starting point guard? They've now pursued a shooting guard that will demand the ball, also undersized as well. And if that happens, they could potentially bring in an additional point guard that would need the ball as well. For the Knicks to trade Randall for Westbrook, they need to acquire something else in return for it to make sense. But the Lakers weren't willing to give up more than a first for Kyrie Irving. So why would they give up anything close to that for Julius Randle? It makes zero sense from a standpoint from the Knicks, unless LA is paying more for Randall than they are for Irving. But that doesn't make sense for the Lakers. Good luck trying to find anything out of this report that makes sense. Lakers fans would probably be thrilled with a clean swap, but that also seems highly unlikely. Something to pay attention to in New York, because I've actually liked what they've done, but this would just kind of set them back even further if they were to acquire Russell Westbrook.
We all have jobs to do here at the Early Edge, and I tell Alex, stay on this kind of stuff. Nobody better. Alex, thank you for that storyline. Of course, we're going to have tons of futures episodes coming up for the NBA, probably in October, I would imagine. Now, that long break in June damn near killed me, Buckets. There was hardly any soccer to bet on, but all that has changed. But for those people out there that are brand new to the show, brand new to soccer betting, dumb it down for me. What starts today that is really so big, or what continues today that is really so big? Oh, no. Buckets. Hit the mute button. You're muted yourself. I love that face.
Wait, hello?
Yeah, you're good now. Continue, Buckets.
Oh,
Go
not
ahead.
again. Well, what continues today is the second round of qualifying matches for the Champions League. What a lot of people don't know is how much of a gauntlet it really is to qualify for the Champions League group stages. A lot of teams qualify just from winning their leagues in the previous season, but some teams are going to have to go through 4, 6, 8, or 10 matches just to get there. Today starts the second leg of matches where we will see teams again play one match at home and one away with aggregate scoring deciding the winner. Then in a couple weeks, they'll have to go through a third round of qualifying matches. So a lot of these teams, when they actually make it to the group stages, they are going to be burnt out, they are going to be injury ridden, and they are going to be frustrated. So it's imperative we see that what teams had to kind of go through this gauntlet to get there and what teams are just sitting and waiting until August, September, October to start their matches.
Yeah, I think you've done a really, really good job the last year or so educating the audience at home, and because so many times when they're playing 2 or 3 times, or if it's back-to-back, there's so many things to look at with international soccer that not everybody knows. So it's so great to have you, Martin, Brant, and the whole crew. All right, now let's get to our board for the day because we have a little bit of everything, but we've got to pay those pesky little bills. So let's hear from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. It is time for our board today. One play from SportsLine. And if you're not a SportsLine member, what are you doing? Are you kidding me right now? But one big play. We're going to go American League to win the All-Star game -110. Why, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Because the American League has won, let me check my notes, 8 straight All-Star games. The American League, let me check my notes, 23-1 in the last 24 All-Star games. Now, something to keep in mind. They announced yesterday, or at least I saw it for the first time yesterday, that the All-Star game, if it ends in a tie, there won't be extra innings. It's going to be a home run derby. So be very careful in betting the total, the over-under, because I'm not sure what sports books are going to do. And if it ends 3-3, is that going to be fourth? I don't know. Be very careful. But that's what they announced yesterday, home run derby, if it's tied after 9 innings. Obviously, they don't want to use all their pitchers up. All right, let's get into my guys for the day. And where do I start when I have such an embarrassment of riches? I think I need to start with games that are actually being played today. So, Buckets, do not screw this up. Start us off. Let's go. Do not crack your neck.
Not cracking my neck. Let's jump right into it with my favorite matchup of the day, though. We have GNK Dinamo Zagreb playing Shkupi Kajer. Dinamo Zagreb are the kings of Croatia. This is the best team by far in these qualifying matches. Then team total over 2.5 at -125 is a steal. They have covered that 2.5 total their last 5 out of 5 matches, scoring 5 or more goals in 3 of these. This is a dominant team, and we love them to dominate today. Going into our second matchup, we have Karabag FK versus FC Zurich. Karabag is a team we saw in the first round of qualifiers is not afraid to score at home. They beat Lech Poznan 5-1 in their second matchup, and now they're playing an FC Zurich team at home who I'm sure the Guru would have a more sophisticated sounding word, but is generally just chaotic. Zurich just plays a bizarre style of soccer where they've seen 19 goals in their last 4 matches. It is just go, go, go constantly. So both teams to score there at +100 looks phenomenal. Going into our third pick today, we have Vilnius Zalgiris versus Malmo FF. We bet on Malmo FF twice in the first round of qualifiers and won both those bets. They're the only team that has hit both teams to score in every one of their Champions League qualifying matches so far. And they just recently traded some of their better defenders. So that's fitting the perfect category for our both teams to score model, where we have a team that loves attack and refuses to play defense. Both teams to score is plus 110 on this matchup. So we got to take that.
You're damn right we do. Those are our favorite games, right? Teams that score a lot, also teams that allow a lot of goals. Because everybody knows buckets. What is my favorite bet? What is my favorite bet?
Both teams to score.
You are damn right it is. All right, buckets, 3 big plays. And get them in because the line goes like this when my guys give out plays. Now, I'm going to go next because Alex hasn't been on the show for a minute, so he deserves to have the maestro spot today. But for me, because baseball's off, because there's not a lot, I'm going to I'm going to give you my expertise in the world of golf. Some added picks. Yes, we've got the First Cut podcast that we're going to tape today, I believe, at 1 Eastern time. Plenty of picks there. But here, 3 tournament picks. You can find all these matchups at Caesars Sportsbook. First one, Nick Hardy over Jason Day. If you don't know Nick Hardy, you're not paying attention to the PGA Tour. This kid is a young stud. He's playing better. I do worry about burnout a little bit as he's playing every single week, but he's playing really well. And Jason Day, well, there's some weeks we don't know if he's going to get through the tournament because his back is so bad. I love Jason Day, but he's not playing well. This is a steal at minus 135. Second play, Dylan Fratelli, minus 120 over Cameron Champ. Cameron Champ just isn't playing good golf right now. I'll take Dylan Fratelli all day, only laying 20 cents. In my third play, Adam Long, minus 130 over Ches Reavie. The hardest thing to do on the PGA Tour is win back-to-back weeks. Many people don't realize Ches Reavie won last week, not at the Open Championship, at the Barracuda Championship. So he's feeling good. He got a big paycheck. He got all those FedEx Cup points. He's feeling fat and happy, which means this week he's only playing because he committed to it. So let's fade him coming off the win a week ago. Now, Alex, it is less than 8 weeks until the NFL season starts. And what we have planned for everybody at home, I don't even know how many different shows we're going to do, but it's going to be a lot. Never too early to find a prop in a future prop, future bet, future anything. Do you have that for us today?
I do indeed, Coach. I've been diving in head first on the NFL's futures market. I can't wait for the season to start. One of my absolute favorite futures is the Houston Texans team win total over 4.5 wins. No, this is not April Fool's. I absolutely love this spot. You can find this at plus 125 on some books as well. I also even like a sprinkle at plus 1,200 for them to make the playoffs, and an even tinier sprinkle at plus 2,800 to win the division. Listen, they've had a fantastic offseason, in my opinion. I was also extremely encouraged by the way that Davis Mills played last year, especially to close the season. Over the final 4 games, he had an 8 touchdown to 2 interception, TD to INTs. They won 2 of those games as well. Despite being awful on paper, injury riddled, they competed all year. Honestly, I believe that Mills might be the best quarterback in the entire division. Let's start with their free agency. They get an absolutely massive haul for Deshaun Watson, considering he didn't take the field. Any contributions they get from that draft equity is going to be an improvement. Houston had a terrible offensive line last year, made it a real concerted effort to improve, added a lot of quality depth along the line. Also, as far as the draft was concerned, drafted some impact offensive linemen. On defense is where they really made strides, in my opinion. They just added a ton of low-risk quality signings, just a ton of depth. Also re-signed a lot of in-house free agents. They added Jerry Hughes from the Bills, who's also commonly one of the top-graded edge defenders. They also added Mario Addison, who had 7 sacks last year. Rasheem Green, who had 6.5 sacks last year. They added quality defensive backs and MJ Stewart. Steven Nelson. None of these guys are like household names, but they're all quality depth pieces. I really think this defense is going to be average at worst, and in a division as poor as the AFC South, that is saying something. I thought they had a good draft, starting with adding Derek Stingley. He could have a huge impact in year one. Added an elite guard prospect in Kenyon Green. They took the safety Jalen Petrie, who's a versatile player. He can play multiple positions. Added an Alabama wide receiver. Christian Harris, the linebacker from Alabama. This guy has the Lovie Smith bedrock in the middle of your defense written all over him. I love this guy. I think he's going to make an instant impact. They addressed the running back position in round 4. They also Simon Damon Pierce. They also added Marlon Mack from the Colts as well. They also benefit from having coached the softest schedule in the entire NFL, in addition to playing in the worst division. So there is a great chance they're going to pick up quite a few wins, in my opinion. Davis Mills is on the rise. I am overly bullish on this team. I admit I might be overrating them, but they are certainly capable of winning 5 games in this division at plus money with such a soft schedule. This is a multi-unit play for me.
And Buckets, that, my friend, is a classic Prop Stars rant as if it was November 18th and we're in week 9 getting ready for a big game. That's a classic Prop Stars rant. You watch, they'll win 2 games. All of that, and they'll win 2 games. All right. Now, I just mentioned to you that there are going to be some issues tonight with the total. And as always, wouldn't you know it, that we're going to have issues with one of our very own when it comes to the total. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB on the 1s and the 2s. Prop Stars. You just heard all the reasons. Texans over 4.5 wins. Buckets. Look at those plays. I don't try to pronounce those plays. 3 big ones. Then, if you're going to cash with me, and you've been doing it a lot lately, we got 3 tournament plays from the 3M this week. Hardy, Fratelli, and Long. And then 1 play from SportsLine today, the American League Moneyline minus 110. Remember, 8 straight games the American League has won. Now, AB, show your face. Where's that big old fat smile that I love so much?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. You know what? I was just getting in this Texas play right here. Props talked me into it.
All right, now, I just very eloquently told the good people at home, be very careful with the total tonight as they're going to decide the game if it ends in a tie in a home run derby. And then I look at our picks, and wouldn't you know it, somebody who selects the AB pick 3, and I think I know who that is, decides to bet the total. Explain yourself.
Yes, sir. Look, Coach, you're correct. Everybody, be careful with it. That being said, smash the hell out of the over 7.5 in this one tonight. Look, Clayton Kershaw has not done well in All-Star games, all right? 6 career All-Star games in his career, 0-2 with a 4.5 ERA. You look at the American League, they scored 4+ runs in 3 straight All-Star games. And pitcher Shane McClanahan for the American League, his first All-Star appearance. We could get some runs early in this one, so take the over 7.5 there. Next, we're going to take both teams to score 3+ runs at plus money. Again, you look at the AL, they scored 4 runs or more in 6 of the last 7 All-Star games. Meanwhile, the National League averaging 3.6 runs per game over the last 3 All-Star games on their own. So let's take both of them to get 3 or more. Lastly, we're going to go American League team total over 3.5 runs. As we mentioned, they've covered this number in 6 of the last 7. And the American League lineup is star-studded. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Vladimir Guerrero, Giancarlo Stanton, Rafael Devers. I mean, we could just keep going on and on and on. Quite frankly, if we're looking at AL team total over 3.5, if we get 1 American League home run, we're probably smashing this number. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like we need to come up with something. Maybe we do it in early edge in 5 this afternoon. Something for the good people at home that we can all root together for tonight. You think we can come up with something, AB, for the good people in the afternoon show?
Oh, yeah. We'll have something cooked up for everybody.
All right. We'll cook up a little something because I like it. I like when we all win together. By the way, a tip of the cap to Vanessa Worley. She was our winner in the Ryan Garcia Cash the Under sweepstakes. And she sent me a very, very nice note saying, I can't believe it. I knew nothing about sports betting until I found you and the crew. So, Vanessa, thank you for finding us. Tell all your friends we want you here. And don't spend it all in one place. And speaking of one, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. Buckets. Prop Stars is back. Classic rant today. And AB on the ones and the twos. We can't do it all without all of you at home. Don't forget, we're back this afternoon. Early Edge and 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. More storylines, more best bets for the night in sports. And also, don't forget the First Cut podcast live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We'll get you set for the 3M Open. Until then, tell all your friends you want to be included, you want to be valued, you want to be listened to. There's only one right here, the Early Edge. Good luck.